Hello Battle Cats players, my name is Chance and welcome to my guide. Today we have a very special episode in store for us for a couple different reasons here. First and foremost, this video more or less marks the 10% mark in terms of being done with all of the cats, which in addition to being a, pretty substantial milestone I like to think, it also makes us, by and large, one of the most in-depth Battle Cats YouTube channels on the platform currently. At least on the informational side, which granted, I know, it doesn't have very steep competition, but as a Battle Cats content creator, it's still a pretty cool milestone nonetheless. This episode also kind of starts us covering the majority of the Ubers found in the Sengoku War Gods Gacha event, which I know quite a few of you have been looking forward to. Today we are going to be covering Sanada Yukimura, which can be gained from the aforementioned event and is also an Uber unit, which was also mentioned. Anyways, it is my hope, as always, that by discussing everything there is to know about Sanada Yukimura, you can make a more informed decision not only how to best use them, but also how far to invest into them, if at all. Let's first get started by taking a look at the evolutionary line. Starting out with Sanada Yukimura, whose description reads, a famous warrior that was transformed by the legendary cat armor into a bird-type general, deals massive damage to black enemies. Then at level 10, it will evolve into War God Yukimura, activated the armor's hidden function, Jet Boosters. No stopping it now, deals massive damage to black enemies. Then at level 30, as well as the introduction of some Catfruit and XP, it becomes Immortal Yukimura, whose description is, Crimson Wings carry this war god through the front lines, tearing them apart without mercy, deals massive damage to black enemies. And while these descriptions are something that seems to straight up come out of a mecha anime, it's actually pretty interesting and has some cool style to it as well. Now then, let's take a look at Sanada Yukimura's overall performance. Sanada Yukimura is considered to be a rusher and a nuker. Rushers, of course, being fast units with shorter than average cooldowns along backswings, high speed, and shorter mid-range. And nukers being a cat unit that typically has a slowish attack rate, but have extreme damage per hit, and typically have damage boosting against one or more traits, in this case, of course, being black enemies. Under pros, you have incredibly fast movement speed, extremely short attack animation, fast recharge time, at least relative to other Ubers, many knockbacks, high DPS, low cost, and under cons you have short range and low health. As far as other considerations go, this unit also has deals massive damage to black enemies, which allow it to do 3 times damage to black enemies, unless of course you have the relevant Catfruit treasures, which increase this to a ×4 multiplier. Overall, not a bad unit at all. And this is basically one of the go-to Ubers for rusher teams. The true form of Bahamut Cat kind of falls into there as well. However, I don't personally consider Bahamut Cat to be an Uber. It's not officially classified as one, despite it having Uber-like stats, so I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, as always. Now then, let's move along to discussing a little bit more strategy as well as checking out some gameplay. Firstly, as far as cost is concerned, Chapter 1, this unit will cost 2,050 cents, Chapter 2, 3,075 cents, and Chapter 3, 4,100 cents. As far as the base and evolved form of this unit go, you basically can look at Yukimura as a, temporary or at the very least disposable Uber slot, and mechanically doesn't function all that differently from the true form version of Bahamut Cat. As such, the way you typically want to use this unit is if you're going to be pushing back the enemy line, or if you want to just stop the enemy line in its tracks. It deals pretty good damage. Its high knockback count means it can reset a bunch, which of course just stall enemies even further. Honestly, the stats for this cat across the board are actually pretty great. In addition to that, because of his speed and, well, of course his damage, he actually is pretty usable for a cheese strat cat. And you can either use him instead of Bahamut Cat or with Bahamut Cat, as both of them kind of improve each other. They pair very well together, if nothing else. Funny enough, despite the fact that he has quite a few knockbacks himself, his speed and attack rate make him actually a pretty decent knockback pusher. So bringing him on boss stages, especially boss stages with black bosses, make him quite good. Honestly, just straight up not a bad cat at all, even the normal and evolved form. The true form, of course, takes all of that and cranks it to 11, boasting a 50% increase to damage as well as better movement speed, really just making him a better unit overall. And in addition to that, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but he has access to a very good cat combo that basically make him one of the better rushers in the game. Now, let's talk about the aforementioned cat combo. I am of course talking about Heavenly Kings, which is a massive damage effect up of the small variety. It involves Immortal Yukimura, Awakened Bahamut cat, and the Maniac Lion cat, and it increases the effectiveness of the massive damage effect up by 10%. Now, I know what you're saying. The more mathematically correct of you might be pointing out right now that this is a 3-cat-cat combo for a small effect that is fairly common in the game. And to that I say, yeah, okay, fair enough. But I also want you to take a look at these units here. All of them kind of fall within the same demographic as rusher units. They all have very good stats, all have very good movement speed, and all have very good attack rates. In addition to that, they work very well together. They're all rushers, they all deal good damage, they all just have good stats across the board. So take these 3, throw a couple meat shields on there, and you'll get a lot of mileage out of that lineup alone. Depending on the stage, of course, you might need to throw in some added protection there, maybe some more specialized cats, but ultimately the raw stats, especially against black enemies, not too shabby. The long and short of it is, despite this not being the most efficient cat combo in terms of results of the cat combo itself, it's actually pretty dang good in terms of overall strength and usability. Moving on to what you'll need to actually true form this unit. You're going to need 8 purple seeds, which can be obtainable every Tuesday, red seeds, which can be obtained every Wednesday, 5 blue seeds, which can be obtained every Thursday, 3 yellow seeds, which can be obtained every Friday, 4 epic siege, which can kind of be obtained by any of the aforementioned stages, with the exception of growing strange and growing evil, and the dual cyclone fights. Once you complete an ancient curse, you'll gain access to the growing epic stages, and you of course can get them there for a few hours every weekend. You're also going to need the standard uber amount of 1 million XP. Now then, I'm just going to flash a couple stat screens pertaining to Sanada Yukimura and its various evolutions, and go over some trivia. Sanada Yukimura is the name of a Japanese samurai who fought during the Sengoku period of feudal Japan. He originally served under Takeda Shinjin. Eventually, Sanada Yukimura led his own army after the death of the aforementioned Takeda Shinjin in both the Osaka Summer Campaign and the Osaka Winter Campaign. The summer campaign in particular was a historic event, as it was when Tokugawa Ieyasu became the new emperor of Japan. Immortal Yukimura is the 3rd fastest cat in the game after Stone Cat and Bullet Train Cat, which by the way would also pair quite excellently with this cat. You can make one hell of a mean rusher team if you know what you're doing. Now then, let's talk talents. As far as available talents go, you have Attack Up, which adds a 14% attack power increase when at 40% health, and this increases by 4% per level up to 50% for a total NP cost of 235. You have Resist Freeze, which reduces freeze duration by 16%, and this improves by 6% per level up to 70% total for a total NP cost of 175. Resist Slow, which reduces slow duration by 16%, and this improves by 6% per level up to 70% for a total NP cost of 175. Then you have Defense and Attack Buff, which increase your respective traits by 2% per level up to 20% for a total NP cost of 175 each. Now, when it comes to Immortal Yukimura, there's a couple things worth noting here. First and foremost, this unit is really best used almost solely for its stats. Because of that, anything that improves its stats is quite worth investing in, and as far as priority goes, attack buff is probably your biggest priority. After that, defense buff, and then thirdly, probably attack up. This unit actually has a fairly decent health pool to pull from, certainly for a rusher unit, so it's definitely worth investing into, as that added increase in attack power really goes a long way towards helping out this unit. As far as the Resist Freeze and the Resist Slow go, probably not worth it. I have a really hard time justifying the Resist talents whenever I'm looking at how valuable of a resource NP really is. So for the meantime, I would just focus on it leveling up anything to do with his stats. Also, this unit is a pretty good one to invest any cat eyes you might have into, as those do go a long way towards improving its stats and just making it a better unit overall. But now that you know what I think about Sanada Yukimura, let's hear what all of you had to say about him. The Guy 6680 says, he's my favorite Uber in the game and by far my most used one. Honestly, pretty fair, he's definitely really good. He's not as meta-relevant as a couple of the other Ubers are, but you know what, for what he is, I actually really like him, and I think he should maybe get a little bit more screen time and discussion around him. But you know, maybe this video will help with that. Shadow Knight 2485, much in the same vein, says, my second Uber and to this day my favorite as well. He's pretty broken as well, especially with his talents. And yeah, as far as raw stats go, he's definitely nothing to sneeze at. Cross/01 says, can't shake hands, very shy, that's why he moves so fast. I could definitely see that. Being stuck in a suit of armor that turns you into a bird would kind of do some irreparable damn to the good old self-image, if you know what I mean. And Courier Cat says, best bird. Yeah, he's a pretty good bird for sure. Metal Slug Alien says, congrats to your 600 subscribers. Man, that brings back memories. When he said that, by the way, I'm actually pretty sure we hit 700 subscribers, so I didn't really get it. But you know what? Fair enough, man. I appreciate the thanks nonetheless. Gifted BYTSCP says, Anti-Hanya, being a reference to, of course, the hyena enemy in the game, and yeah, fair enough. That Carl dude says, bird go burr. And yeah, that's true. You strap a jet engine on the back of any bird and it'll go burr for sure. And the ever-present bee-eater says, Bahamut the second, and he's racist. Listen, just because he's anti-black... No, I'm just kidding. It's not that kind of black, though. You know what I mean? And even if it was, I mean, that's more of an indictment of Panos, right? Like, I don't know, man. And at Freaking Stupid says, I don't have it. And fair enough. I'm sure you'll get it soon, my friend. And if you would like to be featured in this part of the video, be sure to check out our community tab and comment on the relevant posts. Thank you so much. And that really is all there is to say about Sanada Yukimura. Very good cat, plenty of use cases, and not a lot of downsides to him. Ultimately, he will surely be a worthy addition to your team and is worth heavy investment. Naturally, I want to thank everyone so much for the support. The channel review for August should be coming out today as well, so stick around for that. I'll probably release it a couple hours after this video. It will go into the channel's health and its future in more depth. So if you're interested about stuff like that, be sure to stick around for it. If not, that's fine as well. I get it if you're just here for the information on the cats. Without further ado, be sure to like and subscribe for Cat God's Blessing in your next gotcha roll, and as always, I will be talking to you all very soon.